Good morning, July 8th, 9:30. This is a scheduled meeting of the Griggs County Commission. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Avriel.
Here.
Tranby is absent. Zorn.
Here.
Edlund.
Here.
And Wakefield's present. Have a look at the agenda.
Just the court facilities improvement reimbursement letter got added since I sent it out. And that just needs your signature, John.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
With the addition of the court reimbursement.
It was just as presented.
As
'cause it's not-
presented.
Okay. We have a motion by Edlund to approve the agenda with the addition as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Zorn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda approved. If you'll move on and have a look at the June 17th meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the agenda and dispense with the reading, or the minutes and dispense with the reading.
We have a motion to approve the June 17th meeting minutes and dispense with the reading by Edlund. Is there a second?
I'll second
Second by Avery. All in favor signify by saying aye.
it.
Opposed, same sign. June 17th meeting minutes approved. Have a look at the bills. Samantha, is there anything different in there that we need to look at?
Nope, nothing different. The election workers are in there, so they are getting paid. So if you see those negative on the election, just a reminder that it's not going over. It's just budget under miscellaneous, and then I break it out.
It's an in and out budget.
Kinda. You guys just see it as one lump sum when your guys are budgeting, and then I break it out for my own personal stuff. So it's not going over. You're good.
I make a motion to approve the expenses.
We have a motion by Edlund to approve the bills as put forward. Is there a second to that motion? It can be seconded and we'll move on to the discussion part of it. You can still go on through the
I'll
bills.
second it.
Second by Avriel. Now we can discussion part. You can further scrutinize them. Any further discussion on the bills? Barring no further discussion, we'll move on to a roll call vote. Aye to the positive, nay to the negative. Gabriel.
Aye.
Zorn.
Aye.
Edlund.
Aye.
Wakefield votes aye. Bills approved. Monthly office reports, if you have no questions, we'll just move on from that. Sales ratio study, the letter in here is not the text you just sent me?
Yep, that one was sent out this morning, so
Is that what, is that
that's not what's
that's
in
right,
there.
okay.
Yep.
So we are invited to attend virtually
Yes.
at 1 PM tomorrow for the equalization, the state equalization. I think we should probably schedule a meeting and do that from here,
You want to? Okay.
if you want to attend.
I actually can't. Okay. I'll figure it out.
So
I
I'll get it set up here.
Okay.
I'll probably be over the phone, but I should still be able to make it.
I can zoom in also from the link that she sent.
Okay.
So we'll need a motion for a special meeting, 1 PM to attend the state equalization meeting in Bismarck.
I'll make that a motion.
Motion by Zorn to schedule a meeting 1 PM tomorrow, the 9th, for the purpose of attending the state equalization meeting. Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Second by Avery. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting approved. Court Facilities Improvement Grant Reimbursement. I think that's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yep. You just need to sign that letter. And I have the original for you to sign. It's mine in here.
Nothing to be signed?
You just have to sign the bottom there.
Okay. So we'll need a motion to allow signature of this Court Facilities Improvement Grant that we're accepting the money for $7,779.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Zorn to approve the acceptance of the money. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Avery. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Audit.
So Harold heard back from the other entity that was looking over the audit, and they said that it was good to go. So I just need you guys to approve it and allow him to send that in.
And then he'll move on with the rest of them.
I hope so.
Very good. Motion to approve the 2018 audit as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Edlund to approve the 2018 audit as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Zorn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Axion amendment.
So that's the amendment contract to the other one. So now we're on the 5-year contract. So that was just for your review.
Oh, good.
We don't have to approve anything.
I don't think so, because you already did. So this is just for Amber. Just wanted you guys to be aware that that's the new contract.
Excuse me.
So we need to have, the county commission is the one that has the authority to enter into a contract.
So you sign this one?
Huh?
So you want to sign?
Well, yeah, if
Yeah.
we're entering into a
We'll have to make
contract
a
like this.
motion, right?
Because
We'll have to have it redone. It's, right now, it's the Griggs County Sheriff.
yeah.
Oh,
So you could just like make a motion to
Allow Amber.
allow
to use-
Amber to sign. You've done that in the past.
Okay.
Not in the contract. I mean, technically, we can't enter into a contract, and certainly certainly elected official can't. We're authorizing money going forward that we can't authorize. So it better be on the shoulders of the county commission, not the sheriff.
Sure.
so just basically have her bring us a new contract with,
Right.
just saying it's the commissioner, not the sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to do you want to wait until the next meeting? Do you want to make a motion to approve it with that on there so that when it does come, John can just sign it and send it back? Are they in a hurry for this or what?
Or,
No, I don't think
No,
so. I
all
think
right.
this is for.
I don't know.
I think this is for our purposes.
Works for me.
They've got enough money to cover this year's payment anyway,
Sure.
right? Emergency Services Memorandum of Agreement. I think that's a pretty straightforward. Wayne, are you involved in this?
I am,
All right, that's what I thought.
so let's hold off on signing that. I got an email on July 3rd from one of the coordinators from Lamar County. She wants to have a meeting of the 25 counties that are under the state radio to discuss the increase in fees to $1.59, which she says, according to the Century Code, $1.50 is the maximum they can go.
Because of the percentage increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wants to have a virtual meeting, probably this week,
Okay.
and this doesn't have to be signed or in until August 1st, so I think we just wait till the next meeting.
Okay, we'll put that on, we'll just leave that off until you tell us it has to be back on here, Wayne.
Yep. All right,
Thanks, Wayne.
thank you. And we did discuss taking it to the people to vote for an increase, so. And that's what I wrote back to her and I said, well, I talked about it at the commissioners meeting and discussed increasing the fee.
It costs everybody, whether they got internet or whatever else, $1.59 a month instead of what it is now, correct?
Well,
Every line.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
if you have two phones, it'll be $2.50. Because right now there's 50 cents that goes to the Siren State Interoperable Radio Network, and $1.50, but we had to pay the $1.39 previously. So there was just 11 cents left. But then there's also other fees that are taken out. The telephone companies take some money off the top, and the Association of Counties takes a little bit. And then they send the money out, and then she also had questions about the billing, which we had a little problems too. We used to get the line numbers every quarter
Mm-hmm.
for all the phones and the internet and stuff. And it sounded like it was gonna go to the Association of Counties, and then they were gonna take care of this, but there's still some questioning to that. No.
So I have a little bit of information about that.
Okay.
The Association of Counties, that's the contract that we signed
Oh,
earlier with the Association of Counties distributing that money. So the Association of Counties doesn't take any portion of that. The telcos are given 5% to do the processing. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to change legislation. I think this next year they're gonna look to change legislation now that the association is handling it to allow them to charge as much. But the association isn't taking any money to do the distribution. It's just the 5% that the telcos have.
Not sure I understand that.
So the law allows the telecommunications companies 5% for the administrative costs for distributing the 911 fees. And at one point, or before the Association of Counties got involved, every one of the 25 or so telecommunications companies that are in the state would send a check out to each county. And the Association of Counties, when they got involved, is billing each telecommunications firm one time instead of 53 different bills a month. And they are using the GIS that the Association of Counties has to distribute that money to the counties. The hope is that they can go to the legislator and say the counties deserve more of this money because the telecommunications companies aren't using as much money for their administrative costs as what they were, because we're now doing the work. So the hope is that the county get more of the money that they're supposed to get, and maybe the costs go down to 1 or 2% instead of the statutory 5%.
I thought that was the whole purpose that we entered into that agreement in the first place, was it was gonna reduce the cost.
It is, and that's what they're going for. That's exactly what it has done, is reduce the cost for telecommunications companies, and they're working on trying to claw back that a portion of that 5%.
But we're still paying 5%.
Everybody's still paying 5%, correct?
So where was the
Yep.
cost reduction?
Well, they have the statutory ability, I believe, to charge the 5%. The association is planning on going to the legislator and reducing that 5% this next session.
All right.
Anyway, I would recommend to wait
Mm-hmm.
signing the MOU.
Okay. Games of chance permit. Is this this is,
This is different. This is pull tabs for the Sutton Bar.
don't they have to have a sponsor for that?
I don't know. Would they be in the same revenue then of, like around here for the old tabs, or would it be, no, wouldn't
No. They say no.
I,
This is what we've done in the past. We've just signed this, approved this, and then I looked through my files, and this is what I found from the past years.
but in order to have gaming in the bars or in any institution, there needs to be a sponsor, which would be the municipal association or the fire department, or because a private entity can't, it's not legal for a private entity to conduct gaming in North Dakota.
Okay.
And maybe they do, but it's just not saying on here, I mean,
Yeah, I asked her, I said, isn't this through the municipal? And she said no.
okay.
I think it has to be.
I don't know the details on how that works, but
Jamie, do you know anything about that?
let's just Google.
As far as the gaming, yeah, the gaming it's a private entity. It has to be a non-for-profit, like a fire department, like John said, municipal association, a hockey club. A private entity isn't allowed by statute to have gaming.
No, I didn't think so. I don't know how we did this before, if we did, but I think we did a one-time permit possibly. An events permit.
Well, I don't think the bar owners themselves had the last permit, did they?
Yeah, when I went back into my records, this is the permit that I found, and they would come in every year, do this, and
Was it the bar owners themselves, or was it the Sutton Development?
it wasn't the bar owners themselves that would come in.
That's it. And now it is Sutton Sports Bar and Grill.
So it was,
Okay.
if it was Sutton Development before, that's a
Yeah.
not-for-profit organization, but the bar owners themselves, unless they're owned by a nonprofit entity, there's a bar in Bismarck that's owned by a hockey club or a youth hockey organization owned in Bismarck. They can do it, but no, as far as the bar owners themselves, they can't come in the game. No.
Who owns that bar now? That's gone through a couple hands.
Tiffany.
Storm
Clark.
and Tiffany Clack,
I don't
Storm
think-
Ralph.
I don't think the Storm owns it anymore, but it could be wrong. But I know Tiffany Clack does still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's privately owned.
Well, the bar itself is owned by the Sutton Development, and they have operators.
Well, that's what they're saying. She had the Sutton Sports Bar and Grill up on the top, and now she just has that freezer. Who's that? What's that? So it's not the bar themselves that are trying to get it.
Oh, the location is there, so freezer.
Yeah. So it's this that's trying to get it.
But who is the group that it's Fraser Limited that's trying to get it?
Yeah.
They're the ones that need to apply for the permit.
That's what they're doing.
That's who is.
Full legal name of gaming organization is just Fraser.
I think it's Fraser Ltd. out of Fargo.
Fraser LTD.
It looks like it's a nonprofit that serves kids and mothers. But I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the application says full legal name of the gaming organization. And we don't have that.
I guess my recommendation would not be to not approve it until you find out who it is and what's going on.
Is the site license number, is that prior to our approval or post? Because the Attorney General is the only one that approves that, and there's no site license number on here either.
Attorney General puts that number in there.
Right, but prior to our approval or post?
I'd say post, wouldn't you?
I would say post, but
That's what you usually do is you guys approve it and then I give the other ones a number after you guys approve it. So then this would be you guys approve it and then I would send it off to them.
Okay, so we need to have the full legal name of the gaming organization,
Okay.
so that then the Attorney General, this organization is authorized to conduct games of chance under the license granted by the North Dakota Attorney General at the following location. So that tells me that that we have to have the Attorney General approve this first. So here we get this application, and its full legal name of gaming organization, whatever it might be, should be put in here. And then under that, it says, this organization is authorized to conduct games of chance under the license granted by the North Dakota Attorney General at the following location. Well, they couldn't sign this put this application in unless they had been authorized and granted by the Attorney General to conduct
Well,
gaming at
it
this
looks
location.
like at the bottom, it's return the original site authorization form to the organization, and then the organization sends the original signed and site authorization to the Attorney General. So it would be up to them to send it to them. We would just approve it that yes, they are good to go to do this. Then it's up to the Attorney General to give them the final.
That's not the way
Sam,
it starts.
what's the number of that form? SFM number.
17996.
Yeah. Well, regardless, we need to have the full name of the organization.
Okay.
And so it doesn't, Jamie can research in the meantime. Send the original.
Yeah, so do they have, I mean, how much of it's filled in?
They just put Fraser on there. I don't know if that's the full legal name. Sounds like it's not. You got to put was it LTD?
Yeah, they have like LTD on the side. I mean, the logo says Fraser, and then it's LTD. So it's kind of like a nursing home incorporated. It's like we don't really say that, but it is part of the legal name. But so I suppose when they filled it out and to put Fraser, it's probably what they just go by is probably Fraser.
But who fills it out? It should be the organization.
I can't hear you. You're cutting in and out.
Not the bar.
It
Or is
could,
it someone else?
You were cutting out there, Jamie. We didn't catch that.
Was it the bar that filled out the application, or was it someone else?
Tiffany came in and filled it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's how this works. I think that the organization has to fill it out. And looking at the requirements from the AG's office, they have to have an application form and site authorization approved by the governing body for each location where the gaming will be conducted, and they have to have more information, a rental agreement, an employee list, their manuals. But I'm not sure that we can accept something that's done by the bar owner on behalf of that company.
okay. Go back to Tiffany, go back to her and ask her to have them send it to you, I guess. And make sure they have their full.
And I don't know, I guess just my 2 cents as well. I don't know why. I know there's local entities that have gaming in other bars, like the Glenfield Fire Department or Cooperstown Municipal. I don't know why there isn't a local gaming. Why there isn't local gaming here instead of someone from Fargo.
Exactly.
I seen that question as well when I seen that.
Mhm.
I don't know if because worst case scenario, if they want pull tabs. I mean, I don't know who else has around here. The only other person I can think of is Hennifer Wildlife, because they have pull tabs, and that's local. Other than that, anyone else in the area, I don't know. Might be a lot closer. But I could be wrong on that one. So.
I'd have to read and see I don't know if we have the ability to tell them who or what
No, I know.
entity they can use.
Yeah.
I think we just
It'd
need to
be
make
nice
sure
just
that
to
the
see,
entity is
The money
legal
stay
to be
local.
used, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just set that aside then until we get some more information. Old courthouse, new courthouse.
I got a phone call in, Steph gave me a gal. I'm supposed to, I talked to her last week, I'm supposed to talk to her again. I tried this morning, didn't get a hold of her, but, yeah, we got some stuff to go over. I was out working in the shop on my truck last week when I talked to her, and anyway, then we were gone over the 4th and stuff, but anyway. I'm gonna reach out to her again this week.
Another thing was brought up to my attention too, I don't know if it matters to this part, but I guess somebody threw a perfectly good desk away. That did need to be thrown away.
Oh, from the here?
And there's some taxpayers that are pretty upset over it.
What's that?
Perfectly good desk got thrown away. The only thing that needed to be fixed on was like a screw that needed to be put into it.
Thrown away where?
Outside.
No, from where?
One of the offices.
Why?
Because supposedly they said it was no good. So there was some people upset over that, so I just figured to bring it up. I don't know why our sources or whatever else are getting rid of a perfectly good desk just to go buy another one because they felt it didn't match. It made no sense.
What office?
I can't think of the guy's name exactly right now, but he supposedly threw the desk away because there was a screw missing, and somebody else picked it up. They said it was a perfectly good desk. They put a screw in it, and he wanted a new one because it didn't match the other ones.
Well, we need to find out who that was, and
I'll
that's
get
good.
the name.
That's county property. That isn't
Yeah.
their property to dispose of.
So that's what I was kind of curious about, and I figured I'd bring it up.
Bryce got a new desk.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Bryce, yeah.
Yep, Bryce got a new desk. We got a grant for it, so he got a new
that's why.
desk.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was brought up to me, I didn't know the
Yeah.
reason behind it. I figured I told him I'll bring it up during the meeting, but there was a grant behind it. But something like that, you know, instead of just throwing it away, why couldn't they just sell it?
We can't sell it until, like, we'd have to advertise and bid it out and stuff like that. We can't sell property like that.
Okay.
So I think the mindset behind it was to wait till the rain passed, put it out on by the dumpster, and then somebody else comes and picks them up
Okay.
like that.
You realize though that an employee doesn't have the ability to decide what to do with county property. That's the taxpayer's property. The entity to decide that is the county commission. So that can't be happening. There's the same reason we can't sell vehicles or sell anything else without it going through the correct process. What's to say, hypothetically, what's to say that in the scenario you just put out there, that it gets put out there and somebody that it was prearranged comes and picks it up, basically gave away county property. That can't happen anymore.
And like I said, there was some people came to me, they were upset over it, so that's why.
I don't blame them. That's
Yeah.
the citizens' property. That's money that that's money that's being thrown away that is that of the citizens of Griggs County. Why should that happen?
So,
That was the treasurer's office.
is that his office?
Mhm.
Okay.
Put the treasurer's office on the agenda for next meeting.
And I'm not trying to like point fingers or anything, but it's just like,
Don't have to point fingers. We know who did it, and we know it's not correct to do that, and nobody can do that. Wayne can't go throw stuff away out of the county shop.
unless it's
We
literally
can't.
garbage. Well, like I said, there was just something that was the easy fix. They picked it up on the side of the road. They fixed it. They said it was just like one little screw they had to put in to fix it, and then it was a perfectly functioning desk.
Anything else on the old courthouse, new courthouse? Future business. Okay. Barring no future business, we'll move on to the budget. Open to page 4. Everybody there? Bottom left-hand corner. 1,628,970.90 was in 23. 14,443,291.71 is the amount that you have levied for 2024, Sam?
I think those are,
This-
headings
this-
are wrong, sorry.
That's right.
Yep, so it'd be 2024 and then 2025.
Correct.
No, those are right, because it's a levied year, so levy year, yeah,
No,
levy.
it's the amount, right now, we're doing it for 2025.
Yep, but it's, tax year 2024.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have, this number here isn't what we're operating off of this year. This 14,443, that's not what is in the budget this year. This is the money. in the
No, I
budget
know,
this
but
year.
it's the 2024 budget for the 2023 taxes, like it's,
This,
but you want the 2024 and 2025, got it.
no, this is, the budget we're operating off of this year is this one that you have
Yep.
operated as
Yep.
2023. It's actually 2024. That's the amount that was levied for 2024, 16,162,6,760.
Yep.
Okay.
But I know what you meant.
The 2024 amount levied that she has here is 2024 amount requested, is what that should say.
Yep.
Blessings.
Okay? So, and you look at this, and as you look through it, it appears like then we're requesting 1,443,291.71. That's not complete. So I see, right now, I see $679,000 that's missing from that right off the bat.
Yes, the road department.
Okay? So for planning purposes, add that in there.
Okay. Nope, 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 nope.
When you come with.
Reserve you want. You just want the 679, 976, 89 in the reserve, correct?
No, just for this page only. Just move it over so that we have start.
I can't move those numbers. I'd have to go into the road department, put it in
So
as an expense.
let's just add it on to the 14,4. And we come up with, this is just for getting started here. It comes up with 2,123,268,69.
2,123,000.
Yeah. I think that's right. Do it, make sure I get it right. And then we'll subtract that from the 1,628,970.90. Okay. Yeah. So when we do that, we spent last year 1,628,970.90. Proposed to spend this year 2,123,268.69 for a difference of approximately $500,000, $494,000, $494,297.79 increase in budget. which amounts to a 30.3% increase.
When was the last time there was a $2 million project? Was it back in 2011? 2012? I was trying to look it up.
That would make sense.
2000. I once upon a time had it here somewhere. No, I think it was 2012. No, does this include the software update?
No. No, that stuff is all in your packet, of which one you guys would like to go with, and then I can put that in there. Actually. Whichever the other information for those softwares are in your packet. The three, the CPT, Software Innovations, and Tyler. And you guys had Tyler and CPT at your meeting. Software Innovations was not able to make it or to do a presentation, so they just sent a price sheet for you guys.
Which of the softwares do you guys like best?
With the presentations that we got, Tyler would be the one that I would prefer and recommend going with. All of them will do what we need them to do. Software Innovations kind of ghosted us, where we were trying to set something up to have a presentation with them, and then they just wouldn't respond back. We tried to get them to come to your guys' meeting. They wouldn't respond back, and then all of a sudden, here's a price sheet. Yeah. So we never did see a demo of that one, so I'm not really sure on that. So
okay.
If they'll all do what needs to be done, then it comes down to price, of course. If you and I are looking to buy a car and it's our money, we get to go buy the Cadillac if we want to. If it's government money, we buy the Volvo or the Chevelle or whatever it might be.
I feel the opposite way when it comes down to software and using it. I'd pick the most efficient one. I mean, you can have software that both gets you to the end and the same place in the end, but which one's more efficient for you? Which one's more user-friendly? Which one will be there 10 years down the road versus the one that, there's so much more to look at it. In my perspective, since I deal with software every day,
But you're looking at it from a perspective of a business. So we're looking at a perspective of getting the job done. And so if you're going to use software, if you're going to use anything that improves efficiency, in a business, how do we do that? We pass that efficiency on to the business. So if we take software that's going to do the work of 4 people, we get rid of 4 people because the software replaced them. We never do that in government. So all the efficiency does in government is just make the job easier for the person that's doing it. It doesn't give any benefit to the taxpayer. See, so you have to look at it from that perspective. How is this software going to be rewarding to the taxpayer? It has to be that way. We're spending their dollars. How do we tell them that we should buy this software? And they say, well, how is that going to improve my life? And we'll say, it's more efficient. Well, I know, but how does that efficiency get passed on to me? Where's the savings to me?
What's the difference in the price between the two?
Tyler is more expensive up front, but they are, I think, $20,000 per year afterwards. CPT is obviously less expensive, but it seems like they're, I think, $33,000 per year after that, and they do say that they will go up 5% each year.
So if you were to take the whole package at the end of the year, or at the end of the two prices, I mean, if one is more at the beginning and less through, and then
You can never factor in the yearly operating because that's not set in stone.
okay.
So if they say, yeah, we're never gonna go up, and next year we went up, and what do we say? Well, we're gonna get rid of your software now, we already spent $100,000 on it. It's a bait and switch.
Yeah.
So you have to look at the upfront costs and compare them. That's the only way to buy any of that stuff. If they'll give us a contract on it, yeah, fine. Then you can use it all. But if there is no
contract with any of them.
not that I've seen.
Well, I support you, Samantha, with the choice of Tyler's software. They were, in other presentations, I preferred that software also.
So I'm gonna ask, every
They had more
time
features.
we have a issue to do with money in this budget, I'm gonna ask the question, and I know you're not gonna answer it, but the citizens deserve to have it answered. How does spending that money benefit the taxpayer? That's what we're here for. And you're gonna get sick of me saying it, but I'm gonna say it over and over and over again, because that's the purpose of what we're doing here. Not that it would be nice for you, or nice for me, or nice for anybody else. Is it nice for the taxpayer? We're losing touch of what we're supposed to be doing. And I'll provide the counter argument on how it isn't benefiting the taxpayer. And if it is benefiting the taxpayer, then let us know, and we'll have a discussion.
Samantha, what is the price upfront of Tyler versus the other one? Or what are they both, actually, so we can add that, because I want to add it to the total budget.
Well, here's DNA mobility.
Nope, keep going. That's for your court facility,
Oh.
correct?
Didn't they bid it too? No?
No.
The total contract for Tyler's, is it 185, 735?
Yeah.
What page is it on?
57. And the recurring fees is the annual fee of $20,049. Correct? Is that how I'm reading that right, Sam?
I'm sorry, what?
On page 59, the one-time fee, setup fee, which is always expensive for setup fees, 185, 735. And then the reoccurring fees are the annual fees from here forward
Right.
of $20,049.
Yep.
You know,
So CPT is
$50,000 for the bundle. Right? Which one you on?
Yeah, CBT.
Yeah, right on this right here.
Nope, that's soft renovations.
Okay, well, that's the next one we got.
Yep,
So they're at $50,000 for the bundle,
yep.
The startup is 50,000.
That's what everything, that's, yeah, compared to the 185. They don't have other costs right here. And their current licensing agreement is $12,600.
Hmm.
So they're at $50,000 initial, 12,600.
Is this in the DOS program though?
Nope, that's the CPT. The soft renovations, I don't know. That's the one that we didn't get the,
Oh, so this software innovations is the one that never called, no showed.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well then I'm not even gonna look at that one, because that's a, why do you wanna support somebody who wasn't gonna bother giving this time of day to come to us, to
They
present
didn't,
to us?
because they
so-
didn't have their program up and running yet.
So I do not support that one at all.
And then this one is the other one. And CPT, we've asked for like, how much is it gonna be for Griggs County? Like, and this is what we get. So I don't really have a,
They don't have a firm price.
no. It's, 6,000 to 8,000. It's 500 to 1,000.
So if you add all of these things up together is what it's gonna cost. So real estate tax is 10,000, the conversion is,
What page is that?
that's the very last page, 64. Yeah, innovations is the one that was a no call, no show.
$33,000.
And this one's the DOS program.
correct.
See, I just don't think we're going ahead going from one DOS to another DOS. I mean, it's 2025.
Mm.
Going to another DOS program to me is it's like going from one old truck to another old truck and not upgrading it. That's my personal thoughts.
We're dealing with a financial and accounting system that's a real old truck. It's been placed in the 1880s. Nothing's changed in how we do this. DOS doesn't make any difference. We're not dealing with any graphics or anything else. This is strictly a numbers program. It doesn't matter how old the truck is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as it gets it to the point and dumps it off. The program we're using right now is just fine.
I, being a software person, am more for the user-friendly and move forward. That's just my opinion. You can have your own opinion, John. You're not going to change mine. I won't change yours. I'm just stating my opinion on this as far as when it comes to software, being a person that works with software on the daily. If you're going to move forward, we're not going to get out of the electronic times. It's going to be more and more every day. So I would move to a Windows-based program where at least you can move forward with and offer more services like the web stuff that we wanted to do, pay online, and all of those features that you could do online versus going to another DOS where you're stagnant. But again,
So
that's my opinion.
So we have that option here. Then we have software innovations at $62,600 compared to
185,735. $205. Basically, I added them together and Oh.
So So 205,000 compared to 62,000.
Question. This one that, if they didn't have their software program up and running, and they didn't.
They did. They were just busy with the busy time, I guess, is kind of what they said. They were helping their current users through some issues.
Is it something that we want to try and set up a meeting with and see if they'll come in and show us? I mean, if they're not busy now, and we can reach out to them and ask them if they'll let us see their program. We're just worth looking anyway.
Well, I mean, it's $10,000 a year less money to maintain it too. I mean, put that 10 years down the road, there's $100,000. So now you're looking at something that is triple in price, more than that. Again, if this was a business and the software would replace people and put money onto the bottom line of the business, then you buy the software that does that. That's not what this is. It's not what this is at all. In fact, this can be done with a add-in machine or by hand and achieve the same results we achieve with any of the software programs. It was done that way for years, and you know what? It should still be done that way, because by doing it with this software, all we're doing is we're producing people that are just data entry people. They don't understand the system.
Not always, but
Well, should we bring them in here and ask them to compute the levy for me, compute any of these things that we need to, and I'll bet most of the people who deal with this can't do it. They can't sit down and go, well, here's how we figure that out. And if you don't have that knowledge, then if there's a mistake made, what happens? You don't realize a mistake because I just put the numbers in there. If we're going to do numbers entry, then let's do that. Let's make it more efficient. Let's combine offices. Let's save the money in personnel.
to get this moving forward,
Yep.
I think let's see if the software innovations will come and talk to the next meeting and give us a presentation.
Okay.
And then we'll have 2 Windows-based softwares to choose from. My personal thing.
I agree. I think we should just look at what they have.
Yep, that'd be good. I'm
Need to
good with
make a
that.
motion on that?
I don't think we need a motion, I think.
Okay.
See when they can come on. See when they can show up here.
Yep.
That way you can get a better idea, and if it's a system too that's, a little bit more friendly to your guys, then it would be. I understand where John's coming from, it shouldn't be friendly on you, but I feel it should make your job a little easier if possible.
I will contact them.
So, getting back to analyzing what's going on here, almost all the increase was of the $497 or $94,000 increase. Almost all of it was in the general fund. $433,000 of it in the general fund, so 93% of it was the general fund increase. So I think that the last time we left this at, you wanted to go through and apply an increase to everything.
I would like to still have the departments review their
I
budget.
s-
I'd like to have them here to discuss with them.
I sent out an email to all of them to be here, but
Okay. Yeah, that would be,
The only one I seen was Jeff, and he left.
and Jeff said that he will be out from now on until the budget is proposed budget is approved. So he needs to be here to do his budget today if you guys want to discuss his budget, but
Sure.
I'll send him a message.
Well, I'm not moving forward with this. You can do it yourself until we figure out how much we're gonna spend. A budget is, here's a pile of money. How much of it how are you gonna distribute it amongst what's needed? That's the only way to do a budget. That's the way we do a budget for our families. That's the way we do a budget for our businesses. If you go to a bank and you wanna start a business or you wanna buy something, they want a budget. How are you gonna use the money? It isn't go through and, yep, that's good, and add it up at the end. If that's the case, there's no need for a county commission. We're not needed. If that's the case, we'll just turn it over to the people that work here and they can put in their budget and we'll approve the money and then we'll explain that to the citizens. So looking at this, we're 30% over budget already.
Mm-hmm.
And that's without the software.
That's about the software. The software, if you were using the $60,000, it would add, then it would be about 37% over budget. If you're using 100 or 205, then you would be approaching that.
50.
Unless you guys would
60.
like to use ARPA funds, there is ARPA funds available, that we could,
That 50,000.
I think it's 60, hold on, let me see.
It would cover the software.
Yes, it
On
would.
that, and so that's why I don't really want the software in this budget discussion. Is because that is a set aside that we could use. So I think we should stick with the numbers where we're at right now. I think we'll deal with the software if I thought it was 78,000 that was in the ARPA funds, but
Let me look here.
maybe I'm wrong.
Well, we got about 100 out of ARPA, and then we've only used a little bit. I could be wrong. What's been
Yeah.
more than that?
And some of these are specific use, but I think the software
Oh, you
would
have it in
fit there.
here.
But anyway, that's beside the point. What are we gonna do with the budget? So the COLA, the price the increase that most of our citizens are gonna get because our population is 50% of it's on Social Security, they're gonna get 3.2%. That's what COLA projected for 2024 was.
That 2 point whatever percentage increase of which was like 45,000 was discussed last time, I feel is not enough for the next year's budget. I again feel it should be, with all the changes to be had, it's going to have to be at least 200,000 to increase when running through this.
So where did you come up with that number?
It's just a nice round number to work with to start with. That's what I feel. We need a number to work with, and that's the one I choose, and to go up 200,000. If we need to make motions to roll, to pick a number to work with to start now, a budget's something we work with.
No.
So we could pick a spot and go from there and move it up or down as we review with the departments. As we look through things, it could go down. You don't.
We have a number to start with, and it's a number that we had budgeted for last year. How is spending more money going to benefit the taxpayer? That's a question that we have to ask every time for every penny.
Well, then that's what we talked about last meeting, was just taking last year's and adding the 2.8%. Is that what we talked about?
That's what you
last
two, yep. I mean, I would, if this was a business that I was running, and if this was a compliant county commission, I think there should be across the board, the whole budget should be cut by 10%. I think money should be allocated to the priorities, which would be the road department, the sheriff's department, and taking care of the people that can't take care of themselves. I think other entities that have become basically a luxury or benefit just a few people, I think should be done away with. I think we've come a long ways from when all these things were put in place. And the whole purpose of government in the first place was to share expenses. When Griggs County became Griggs County, everybody had the same job. They were farmers, or they were the people that were supplying the goods for the farmers. And they had to have a way to have some security in the sheriff's department. They had to have a way to have some infrastructure in the road department. And they all knew that they were going to pay for it collectively. So they put together a system so everybody would be able to pay their fair share. If you own 2/4 of land, you pay this amount. 3/4 of land, you pay this amount. A house, you pay this amount. They also put a check and balance into this thing. The check and balance was that your taxes were public, open to the public. So anybody could go look at anybody else's taxes, so that if I'm sitting on a board and I'm raising your taxes, somebody can go and say, well, look at John's raising my taxes and he doesn't pay anything. Or my neighbor is paying less than I am. Or that's how the system was put together. Everybody had skin in the game. It's morphed to the point now where we're providing services for a real small segment of the population. For this or this or this, where we got it, and the money's running out. We're taxing people money they don't have. Our economy is in a free fall, basically. Look at the businesses closing around here. Look at what's happening to the standard of living. And yet government thinks that it should go on business as usual, that there shouldn't be any penalty for government. Government should just, well, it's another year, we better raise our wages, we better raise our costs, we better just go on. And that's not the way it's supposed to work. Government is supposed to be the people. It's supposed to provide for the people, not take for the people.
The 433,000 in the general fund, what was the majority of that? You know, when we say general fund, where did it?
Salary. There was a huge insurance increase also.
Yes, we are requesting full family insurance in there. Full family insurance is being requested in that number. We
So-
talked about that with the sheriff's department. It's very hard to get those deputies to come in and stuff, so.
And that's the thing, when you raise it for one, you have to raise it for all. You can't just pick and choose departments.
Correct.
So the majority of the increase, and to answer your question, was employee-related increases.
We had to raise our insurance to cover a portion towards family to get staffing, because insurance is getting so astronomically expensive. And we can't pay the wage.
These are all realities
Yeah.
that we have to deal with.
It's unfortunate.
These are all realities, but there are some constants. When dealing with employees, and this is a harsh reality, but the measure of whether you're paying enough or too little is based on the ability to recruit and the ability to retain. And if you're not paying enough, you can't do either. If you're paying too much, you don't have any turnover. And that's just a business reality. Steph knows that probably better than anybody with the business she runs. And so comparing salaries to other counties or wherever else, that makes no difference. It is here in Griggs County. And then it also has to do with those services that are provided. Are the services we provide mainstay for the county? Some of them are, the road department, the sheriff's department, the senior citizens taking care of them. Some of them aren't. So they have to be prioritized. So one increase or decrease doesn't fit all entities. And that's where we're at. That's what's expected of us by the people's money that we're taking, I believe. And I know there's been some talk, well, some people can afford it. Well, I know there was a mention last meeting that land prices had went up. That's irrelevant, because of course if a land price goes up, does that put any more money into that person's pocket? No, just the opposite. You can owe $100,000 on your house and pay the same taxes as somebody that owns their house outright. This isn't about anything that you have. This is about a method of taxing people in order to feed the beast, so to speak.
My question on that though, insurance deal, is that for just full-time or is that part-time including?
So it would be offered to all, but let's say you are 4/5, you would only get 4/5 of the family insurance.
Okay.
So then you would have to pay the other 1/5.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so it's,
It's based on how many hours you work.
Correct.
Type of deal.
Yep.
Okay.
How much is it out of pocket for family a month? 1,200? What is?
Uh,
I think I asked before how much that was.
before the county puts in,
Nope, just out of what, let's say you're paying family insurance, how much do you pay a month out of your paycheck for it?
Over and above the single, that's what you're asking, correct?
Mhm.
hold on one second. I believe it's 1,200, but
1,200.
let me,
It also depends on too, how many dependents you have on there too, or does it matter?
nope, so it's either a single or a family, it doesn't matter. We
So what
don't
she's
have
looking
a-
for is what is a single cost and what is a family cost?
I know, and I visited with Sam on this earlier, and I mentioned possibly, during the upcoming renewal open enrollment, maybe just look around at different prices for insurance, not guarantee or change insurance company, but at least shop a little bit to see what we can get to save. With the same, I
Same
have,
with deductibles as or whatever you should.
exactly, same deductible, same everything else, maybe just different company. I've had to do that I do that every year. Look at different insurance companies and go with the best every year.
Well, the medical field, I mean, they're changing all the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's
I know
crazy.
school's been kind of doing that too, flip-flopping insurances company, trying to figure out what's best for them. And
Right.
budgets and everything too, because it's been, last few years my mom was part of the school system. It was just such a nightmare because one cost and then two, everything was just, all the paperwork behind it was just a nightmare.
Mhm.
No one's gonna ask the obvious question. If you offer to the family, what do you offer to the single person? It's money. So if because you're married and have a family, you get $800 more a month than the person that's single?
Hmm.
That seems like socialism to me.
I think it's just a benefit, like you either use it or lose it. Jamie doesn't take a single policy, but we don't put more money towards his paycheck. Somebody that's, I mean, we have several people that don't take even the single policy, but we don't give them anything more. It's
Right.
just a benefit. You either can take it or not.
But they have the ability to,
It's
and they have the ability to use that. It's offered. That's the offer. Nothing's offered to them because they don't have a family.
we don't pay any difference for those who don't have family insurance or anything's up to $700 towards it. You either take that, if either qualify, you pay for whatever benefit you qualify for. We pay for that, and then you pay the difference.
Yeah, but you don't pay the full family, I'm sure.
I pay up to $700. So for some people it is, some people
But
it's not.
that's what we're doing here. We
'Cause
pay.
ours is,
That's what we're doing here. We pay the single, and they can pay for the family.
Ours is, but even with that, ours isn't $1,200 a month for anybody to have to pay out of their pocket.
No, she was talking about the whole policy,
And
right, Sam?
So what?
You're talking about the difference. That's the 1,200 is the whole price of a family policy.
No.
The difference.
that's the difference.
So
That's
it's about 2,000. I can't get in right now, but I think it's about 2,000 a month for a family insurance.
And what's a single? Well, it doesn't matter. That's what we're paying right now.
$844.94.
Huh?
$844.94 for single.
So we're talking about giving the family, the person that has a family, a $1,200 a month benefit.
Hey, there it is.
Based on what?
Yep.
Yeah, like with your work, if you're, have a family, do they have to pay for their spouse?
It's up to $700 towards their total insurance. Ours is a little bit different because we don't have single dependent family. Ours is by age because we're a smaller facility. So ours is by however your age is. Each person's charged a different rate. So we pay single and full guaranteed, and then up to $700 towards your dependents that you need to pay for. And the people that don't have, it's just themselves. They don't get like a in lieu benefits kind of thing. Those who don't take our insurance, we don't pay them anymore either. It's a benefit option that they have and what they take.
So single is $844.94. Us family is $2,042.52. Difference between those two would be $1,197.58.
And if $1,100 is too, I mean, ours is like $700 towards family. That just helps. Anything to help the sting of that benefit is always nice. But
My head's gonna blow up. There's so many contradictions in this. Again, we're offering benefits to one and not the other based on their marital status. We use the word nice. This is not what these negotiations are about. This is about the taxpayers' dollars, most of whom don't have health insurance that we're taking money from in order to pay health insurance, and now family health insurance. And the people that are paying these taxes don't have those benefits. This is absurd. We've lost the complete scope of what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be taking care of the people of Griggs County, and the best way to take care of them is not to take their money.
how many other counties are starting to offer it benefits?
A lot. I didn't ask around for how many, but I can if you'd like. But yeah, I know that the last time that I reached out, I think a few years ago, it was quite a few, and more are taking it over.
Yeah, more and more are going that route just to get staff and reward the staff that we have. Yep.
We have lost quite a few employees because the outside agencies are offering that, and so then that's people go for things like that.
Benefits
more
are important, yeah. Yep. So of this $494, how much is benefits total of the insurance?
About all of it.
Oh, what page is it on? I'll look too. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you have to go through each one of them. But just a rough figure about all of it.
Is the insurance?
Yeah, that's why I asked the insurance what that was. It wasn't anything.
Sorry,
to
I
do
wasn't
with
trying
the-
to hide it.
No,
or
I know,
anything
and I know
like
that,
was-
but I wanted to make sure it wasn't confused with building insurance. It was. I didn't go through and calculate it. I went through and looked at and just added it up, and I didn't see many expenses that weren't employee related. Not saying there aren't some, but.
It would be nice to have
Health
that.
insurance is on B18.
Yeah.
What was that?
B18.
B18. I absolutely completely understand why it's there. So 192, 885, subtract 104, 434, 88,451.
What was that? No, 80,000.
451 is what the insurance difference is to move to family, full family. Does that 11,197, does that include dental and vision?
No,
You just want full medical, not dental and vision?
right.
Okay.
The dental and vision is on a different
Okay.
one.
Took a huge, look at that, took a huge jump from 2003, 2004, 2023, and 2024. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's that?
That
Huge,
was,
huge jump between 2023 and 2024. The cost increase, how much it went up.
No, that's because it's 2024 and 2025. It's what they're asking for.
No, I know, but I'm just
He's
saying
back.
Actual
The
is
actuals.
2023.
between 23 and 24, how much it actually just went up
Yeah.
between that year is what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah, for the same coverage.
yeah.
Yeah.
but it's kind of, so those are kind of different because it could have been because we didn't have an employee for this
That's right.
many months, or, you know, that we had this employee and they weren't taking it, but this employee was, and,
Yep.
you know, so that's not all from the increase, but yes.
Yeah. Blessings. But so that 494, I keep my papers straight. Of that 494, 88,451 is the insurance.
Big thing is the salaries, with doing this, because once the salaries go or change, then the insurance changes, the retirement changes, like all the things, and it just kind of like trickles down and kind of changes everything within the budget. So once you get those numbers kind of figured out, it kind of goes all the way
For every
through.
dollar increase in salary
50 cents.
is 54 cents now. Not counting, it would be more than that if you count this.
Yeah. Is this another one that we want? Do we want some quotes?
That's the thing about ND PERS is if we leave, we can't come back.
Okay.
They'll kick us off, or
Okay.
we will leave and they won't allow us to come back. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. We could possibly do that, but I'm saying if we leave ND PERS, we've left ND PERS for
Okay.
the insurance part of it. So I haven't looked around just
Nope.
because of that fact.
I mean, this year I think you should. I mean, you can always get quotes. Not that you have to change it. Just do a comparison to see how much to save the county.
I did do a comparison
so-
a few years ago. Had somebody come in when they were looking at our dental and vision and making sure we had the best
Yep.
rates there. They did look at the health insurance and said, with the benefits that they offer and stuff like that, we can maybe do a little bit of savings, but they recommended that we stay with ND PERS, but I haven't done it for a few years now. So.
But that's
Mhm.
side note here nor there.
Yep.
It doesn't, not budget related. Did you want us to review your budget while you're here?
If that's possible, yes.
I think we could look at it.
Okay. Well, thank you first of all for providing financial support for the extension office. You can see that the
Okay, what page are we on though? Hold on, I'm not that far yet.
45A, Schedule C. Is that right, Sam?
Yep. So page 25, Schedule C. So you would have to go to Schedule C,
Schedule C.
and then it's 25.
C25.
Yep.
So the biggest change is that you folks provided 15 hours per week last year for secretarial or administrative assistants. I'm asking, that's where the biggest change in my budget is, I'm asking for 25 hours per week so that I can get more work done for the citizens of this county. And because of that, that's gonna put health insurance in that, and I see I didn't put anything for benefits. This would then be a benefit, so there's a hole in that budget there, I just found out looking at this, because I didn't have benefits a year ago. So that's the biggest change. Other minor changes is an increase in my salary. And that salary increase for the secretary, by the way, includes the COLA that most of the departments are asking for. And then I've increased my travel budget by another $1,000 because you got rid of the money that was in the weed board fund for my travel, and so that was really a cut in my travel a year ago. In the big picture, you did increase it within my budget, but overall that there was a decrease in my travel, so I've increased that. And then we're on a cycle to get new computers because they're due, and that's the reason for the equipment increase from $300 to $1,000. Otherwise, I left everything else the same as a year ago. So any questions, comments? And one question I have is when does this budget have to be turned in finally? What's this first deadline that it has to be turned in by to know whether or not I get any more chances to come in? Because I'm going to be on vacation the next time you have a meeting, so I'm not going to be able to attend. But if it's not due until the August meeting, if you want me to come back in, I've got a chance to do that.
It's not finalized until what, October?
October 10th, but August 5th, the commission approves the
August 5th.
preliminary budget.
Okay. Okay.
So your minor changes amounted to 31% increase in your budget.
The minor thing,
Well, you said it was the minor changes to your budget. It went from $58,000 to $76,000. It's 31% increase.
the minor was an increase of $700, and my salary, the $700 for equipment and my salary and the mileage. That's what you're saying is 30%?
Your overall budget is 31%.
The overall budget, yes. But most of that is due to asking for more administrative assistance,
Okay.
which the office is in desperate need of to provide more services for
But that
the.
31% goes right back to the 30%. There goes right back to the,
Yeah.
to the.
I mean, there are some exceptions as you go through
Yeah,
this. But,
exactly, but yeah, it pretty much
yeah.
cut and dry right there.
How many hours does she have right now
15.
in 15 hours?
Which is why you're not giving benefits or anything like that right now. And that's not enough hours for somebody to work in my office to get the work done that needs to be
How
done.
many hours does benefits kick in for?
20, I think.
20? Wow.
I think they have to be 20 hours or more. That's
I can't remember what.
what we
I
looked
don't
at,
know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'd like to give you more people and more hours in your office. You do a fabulous job. I hear compliments all over. I mean, within your department. So
Thank you. Any other questions about what I'm asking for?
Mhm.
That raise was at that's what NDSU.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your part of the salary increase.
Right. So I guess according to the Century Code, NDSU is supposed to consult with the county commission prior to you getting a raise. We're supposed to be part of that.
I was part of the interview in itself and with the raise discussion. I was part of that. They figured on their own, that they go by their own state.
The county commission
Figures,
is
but-
supposed to be part of that discussion. And that we haven't been part of that discussion. And
Well,
we
your
have,
representative has.
Did you?
don't you know how the system works? There is,
think- it
we
wasn't
are an
too-
entity only by majority.
It,
As individuals, we have no power whatsoever.
was it an issue last year? I don't think
It's
Lisa was.
always been an
Leslie was here
issue.
last year.
It's always been an issue. It is a century code that NDSU consults with the county commission in respect to the raise given to the agent. And we don't have to consent. We have the ability to bow out on that. And nowhere in the world does it say that someone can arbitrarily talk to one of the county commissioners and get permission to do that.
So you're requesting Leslie to come here to discuss the raise?
I asked the question, why weren't we consulted like we're supposed to be?
I don't think you were last year. I think it was just put in.
I've
it was gone
raised this
through.
so many times, and it's always the same. Steph, why don't we just give you the checkbook and you just write out what you think we should do here, and the citizens can just deal with the big increase they're gonna get, and you seem destined to give everybody and anybody anything they want. Let's just do that.
Okay.
Well, there we go. You finally admitted it. Very good. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an open checkbook here, and we're dealing with some kind of conservative over here, somewhere in the middle. It's got to be where we end up.
Well, if you want Leslie to come to discuss this, absolutely. My question
I
was.
didn't want her to come to discuss it. We have the ability. The point is, we have the ability to turn down that raise. It is not mandated.
The raise is mandated, as I understand, from the.
I'll say it one more time.
State.
We have the ability to turn down that raise. It's not mandated unless we consent to it. We didn't consent to it. We weren't brought into the initial conversation about it. It shows up on our budget now. That is not a mandate.
I'll investigate that for you.
You don't need to. I already did. I'm just at, why are we conducting these negotiations when we haven't decided how much money we're gonna spend yet? We had that down here the last meeting, and now we've completely gone off the rails again.
Right.
Well, Jeff was here and we're gonna be here the next meeting, so I'm glad that you reviewed your information with us and pointing us where these things came, where your numbers represented.
Any other questions?
No.
I appreciate what you can do to increase our administrative assistants'
Okay.
time, because I need more time. to
That,
get more
one
things
quick
done.
question on that, on 20 hours, if we give them, let's just say do we have to pay at 20? Okay.
I thought it was 18, wasn't that the cutoff you said last year?
It's 3/5 of how many hours? 3/5 of 39. How many hours is considered full-time here?
37.5.
Times 3/5 times 66% is considered full-time.
I know that we looked into that and got NDPERS to tell us exactly how many hours, but I can't think off of the top of my head what that was. I got you.
Well, I asked you to look at that and make sure
Yep.
for
Yeah.
budget considerations, but even at that, I need 25 hours per week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It's 66 and 2/3, isn't it? That figures out.
So basically, you take the 37.5 or whatever it is.
Times 66.
66.
Yeah, 0.666.
just 24.42. 37, if it's 37 hours times 0.66, which is 66%, that's 24.42 hours.
That would be considered 3/5. If that's what if that's what is considered full time, it's
What was that
3/5.
number?
So if it's 37 hours, considered full times, 66% of 37 is 24.42.
So they were going to work 24 hours to get insurance benefits.
Yeah. 24. I'd just say put 24 and a half.
Well, back to the original question of the number, I think we almost need to decide on the insurance portion of it, that if the 433,000 is our big number, you know, where are we at?
Well, if you're going to do it like a budget, it should be done.
Right, just,
You would take how much you're going to increase the budget. X amount of dollars. You would go, let's just use this instance right here. You would go to his estimated 2024, which is, that's the actual money that was allocated in 2024, the 58,332.49. You take that times whatever increase you wanted, and then that would be that budget increase.
well, exactly, because if you take, like he said, the small number that he was looking for, well, truly, and what he wasn't that much until you put the wages in there, which at 25 hours puts at the insurance, and then that's where you come up with the 31%.
Well, no, but he was looking for himself. He got a $2,000 a year raise, and the assistant got a $10,000 a year raise.
Right,
Who says there even needs to be an assistant?
right.
I mean, if you want to raise the budget by X amount of percentages, then you have to go to each item and raise it by that percent, or decrease it by that percent.
Yeah.
He needs the equipment for sure because he's due for new computers. He's gonna need that there.
Do you get your computer at home when you're due for a new computer, or when it goes?
This isn't a
bad?
home. This is a business.
When it goes, this is not a business.
These people
this
need
is-
their. This isn't a home-based computer system. And computers, they
Okay,
don't
but-
last but 5 years nowadays. So
Okay.
they do need to have upgrades. So if his are due for an upgrade, then put it in the budget to get a new computer.
Well, no, you have to, does it benefit the citizen? How many citizens does this benefit?
You have to look at the employee who's working here and the tools they need to do their job.
No, you look at what the employee contributes to the overall job that needs to be done. That needs to be done. So how many people use the county agent?
And one of the tools to use
How
that
many
is a
people
computer.
use the county agent? We operate under majority. So if the majority of the people don't use the county agent, then the majority of the people shouldn't pay for it. That's why I said we have to prioritize. We have to go, everybody uses the roads, everybody uses the sheriff's department, everybody has to take care of the senior citizens. From there on down, it needs to get prioritized.
Yep.
We think,
And the computer is to me, again, I'm an electronics gal. I'm just gonna say it now that it's 2020, it's an electronic world. This is how you run everything is through electronics.
so
So
throw
I
away,
will
throw away a
always-
computer that's working.
I will always
That's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to throw away a computer that's working, which brings me to the other increase in the budget that was an employee, and it's the IT department. And as long as we're talking about computers, let's talk about that. B17. $104,000 last year, asking for $196,000 this year.
Double.
The 104 is way too much. We've created a monster here. This is complete ridiculousness. $40,000 for what, audio, video? What's that?
No, this is me. Sorry. No, this is for me. There was, somebody had been at a conference and there was a, system that you could do where each of you guys have a tablet in front of you so that you wouldn't have your paper packets anymore. And then when we do the budget, I would make a change. It would then change on all of your tablets. If we needed to add something to your packet, we could then change the packet that way. So then it would lessen paper expenses, all those things. So part of that is those tablets that kind of set up for you guys to use here. Was thinking that would be a better,
$40,000 better?
I don't know if that's all 40,000 because he had it broken down and it was audio video tablets for the community room. So it was, I think that there is something wrong with the communication or thing here too, but there was a thing for the tablet kind of thing too.
We recently updated our video conferences at work, and just the owl alone is $1,000. That's just to have a better conference, because people nowadays are all electronic and videos, and it was better sound. Even with the recording of this, when you listen to the recording of our commission meetings online, it's not very clear. It's not really good. You hear every tap on the table. You hear every shuffling of papers. You hear. I mean, it's. Mm-hmm. I see that. I do see that. And it is expensive. Updating electronics is very expensive.
So I think we should freeze the IT budget where it was last year at $104,000. That will gain us right there $92,000 off of that $494, and it'll put it at $400,000.
What's the new phone server? I think Travis needs to be here to explain the numbers.
No, Travis is a contract employee. Travis is not a head of the department. We are the head of the IT. He bids this for us.
Okay,
you don't negotiate with the people that give you a bid price. We're in charge of this.
Okay, Sam, what is that phone service for, please?
Hold on 1 second.
Computer hardware went from 1,000 to 12,000. Are we in need of new computers?
He would like to put it on a cycle so that
Would that be a Schedule C? Like if we put it in a cycle like the sheriff's vehicle? Or would that be or would you just budget every year and then expense it out that same year?
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be.
I had something.
Oh, speaking of that, the sheriff's vehicle was in the sheriff's department too. That does need to get moved. That needs to get moved.
We separated because they tried to put it in last year, and we separated it then too.
Because it's a capital expenditure, so it needs to. The county owns it, not the sheriff's department. It doesn't matter. It doesn't go. It's still in the budget. It just under a different classification.
Under a different line item, right?
Yeah, it's still there. It didn't reduce. It won't reduce anything.
Like I was saying, should we do that with computers then too, or no?
So there wasn't enough lines for me to put it out, break it out like he has it. But the commissioner tablets was 4,000. PC monitors. I'm not sure what that was. The video system here in the community room was 11,000. The audio system here was 24,000. Camera system.
But that's stuff you don't need, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I understand the whole putting money away for computers and stuff like that. I understand that, but some of the stuff, if we don't need it, especially if we're not using Cruiser right now, I think it could wait.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with I agree with John a little bit on the fact that our economy right now is really bad, and we should at least try and get a little bit of a budget here and get some of this stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
we got some fat here that we have to cut.
And sometimes there's grants out there too for
Yeah.
electronic stuff too that it's wonderful to use. So, I mean, I agree with that. Putting funds away to upgrade your computers every year or whenever need to recycle it, put them on a recycling thing.
And I understand some of the stuff is expensive. I mean, what was the increase on computers? I mean, I say we move it from 1,000 to maybe 10,000. I mean, maybe I still think that's too much, but that's my personal feeling. If you guys have a different feeling about it, by all means.
I'm with you on that.
We don't have to put in reserves for new computers. The amount of, if we run them to failure, we've got, as we just did here about 2 months ago, we do have money in reserve in the general fund that we can cover that.
And that's what I was worried about. I didn't know if we had any money.
No.
So that way, if we created a reserve for it when we ran into that issue, but if we have something there, I'm not as worried about it.
Right, so if we put the reserve here, then it's locked into this budget. If we leave the reserve in the general fund overall, it can be reserved for anything within the general budget. And if we quit this throwing away equipment that's still functioning and run it until it fails, we will save a lot of money. And we've got 3 different backup systems on this thing. We're not losing anything. And this isn't the Pentagon. The services, other than a few of them here, are not on-demand services. We can get by for a little bit until we fix something. So putting reserves into this budget and throwing away equipment when it is, because it's reached its lifespan, technical lifespan, but hasn't quit yet, I don't think is beneficial in this economy at all. And the longer we wait, the more innovation there is and the better piece of equipment you might get by waiting 2 or 3 years.
Did we just run into that with the sheriff's department with the laptops? Them needing new laptops when Bob was here? Wasn't that a conversation he had? Does anybody remember? Did we forget? I don't know.
I do remember him talking about.
Their laptops were old and it took so long to restart them and everything. And
I think that's what their sheriff laptops one-time fee is of $6,000.
Yeah. And there's,
Okay.
in the sheriff's department, it's a different
Okay.
matter. There's lots of grants for that kind of stuff.
I so leave that and
Okay. So anyway, that was that takes up the employees, and this $100,000 here was the brunt of that $494,000. So there, you've got a starting point now.
well, what is the new number for the IT that we came up with?
I just say we keep it the same.
Freeze it.
That's what I'm.
Keep it at 104.
Yeah.
But some of these things he doesn't need anymore, like the website. One time is now.
What about the new phone server?
Well, go back.
I don't know.
Go back one more year. The year before that, it was $80,000.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
What is the
We got all new phones.
yeah, I know.
okay?
Made it up there.
Did you?
What's the ERP server or software?
I do believe that the ERP software is for Tyler, his part of doing everything that we need to get Tyler
Okay.
set up.
And we don't even know if we're going with that yet, so.
They said for any software, I suppose. Or is it just
Yeah,
that
I
one?
don't know. I think there's different things that he would have to do for the different software.
Okay, so we don't need a server upgrade or camera system. That's going from 18 to 36. That doesn't need to be done.
Which one?
The server upgrade, camera system.
So
I'm sorry.
the year before was server upgrade. Now it's camera system. I didn't have enough lines, so I had to do it. So it was server upgrade. He didn't have the server upgrade because we already upgraded the server. So now it's
We didn't
Camera
upgrade the camera system.
we don't have a camera system.
Oh, that is for a camera system.
Camera system for what? For what? Where at?
Is it
I don't.
in the courtroom, in the hallways?
I'm not sure.
So can we agree we're going to leave it at 104?
That's where I'm at.
Okay. So now we've decreased that. Now we've decreased that. This is just round numbers. That 494,000 to 400,000 now is where we're at. And now that's, all of that is now employee-based increases. And that corresponds real closely with the general fund last year was 490,000. Now it's 904,000. You had the 433 in there within.
That's the $500,000.
That's it. I mean, it's the cost increases are employee cost increases for the most part. Not all, but we've eliminated where we're at.
So at 313,557 above last year's.
What's that?
It's 330. If you take out the insurance and the IT, that 494 is what's the difference. Subtract the 88,000 for insurance if that's taken out to figure something else, or the IT that's 92. That's 313,557.
Yeah, I mean, we're at four. If yeah, that's correct. We're at basically 400 of employee, and if you take the insurance out of there, you're right. You're at 320 or somewhere in there. That's correct. And then almost all of that 320 then is wages and benefits increases. So the way we used to do it, if we went by how we used to do it, the increase for the COLA was 3.2% on the wages. But we threw that out the window because it wasn't high enough when we had high inflation, and as I predicted, it'll never come back when it's low. And that's fair to everybody. Everybody gets a wage, although there's been some speculation on how that we should, maybe each department should have a different wage at the head of the department because of the complexity of the department. That is a valid discussion. It's just very technical in order to do that. So does this department head get the same as this department head, even though they do vastly different types of work and require vastly different amounts of time?
I personally agree that the department heads are so different, and that I don't like the idea of the straight wage increase across the board. I feel that there's places where it should be.
The complexity of it is when you're dealing with a elected position, that wage then becomes the wage going forward when the next 4 years. So then you run into a bunch of difficulties there. But that is a valid discussion. I don't think it's a discussion right now at budget time, because I think that would require. Well, the first thing it would require, and we've never been able to do this, is the ability to evaluate what work's being done. The only office that's being done in it is the recorders. The state comes in and does a very comprehensive analysis of the documents that Kelly processes, and then they equate that to a full-time position. So I believe when we started out here, at one time that was a 60 or 70% position. 70% of full-time. It's down to 25% now because of innovation, the state. And so the state pays us accordingly. They used to pay us for 70% of a position. Now they pay us for 25% of a position. But we keep paying the same wage. We didn't take advantage of the.
But there again, that comes back to the computers and stuff to where we make things better and easier and faster. The only person that is benefiting is the person that is doing the job. It's nobody within the community.
Because we've never taken the next step. When the state only pays us 25%, then we should only pay accordingly, but we haven't done that. And it's that way throughout this whole system.
Right.
And so in order to try to revamp that, I think you'd be opening a can of worms it would take from now until next budget time. But I do agree that there is some validity in that. That a position is not a position is not a position.
What about on positions that are not elected official?
Yes, you could theoretically do that based on competency, on quality of work. With the union that they operate under, you might not get away with that. The union might step in and come after us for that, because in order to do that, we'd have to have some method of appraising what that employee was worth and why it was worth more than this employee. It's a can of worms.
Could you just look at the salary study and kind of?
I suppose you probably could, but the other thing is we've never been able to put into a place a time clock. So we can't even say whether these people are here all the time. And so that would be the first step in trying to appraise what somebody's value is how much time they actually put into the position.
Well, you take this family. The reason I don't like the family insurance is you take a guy like Jake Loudon that's down running the Blade. Jake has no family. He's 20 plus years here, does an amazing job. I would rather see the $80,000 go to raises to people that don't have family. I mean, not just that, but individual raises than a family. I don't agree with family plan with somebody that has one kid, somebody has 3 kids, or somebody has no kids. I mean, it's so, well, like you said, it's basically communism the way it's set up, But anyway, so I don't want personally the family plan. I think the money could go
Into the salaries instead.
Yep.
To help make up for the.
But then it comes to the part we talked about this last year of the elected official. I know that is a portion, but my take is that the guys down at the. I'm not saying everybody needs an equal raise. That's not what I'm saying, but the guys at the county, and I've spoken, or not spoken, but John is in last year's meetings that talked with you about the budget cycle, about the guys at the county. I just look at what those guys are making per hour. I think there could be a little something done there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's too low.
Yeah.
And that's been addressed in Wayne's budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just know what it's like to try and find qualified help, and it's hard.
That's been addressed in Wayne's budget. That's part of that $679,000 that is still there.
Okay. No, so anyway, that's my take. I think we should leave it at 104. I think we should not do the family plan, and
so that leaves us where Steph, 313?
313, 557.
So then I think we should get back to the COLA. I think we should apply a 3.2% wage increase across the board, excluding the.
I don't like the across the board, because here's the thing: the person who makes the higher wage gets a higher raise versus the one who makes a lower wage. They'll get 50 cents, and the person who's making more is going to get $1.35. So it's like, why are we? It's almost like penalizing the person because they're making lower money.
But the thing is the department head going to give everybody raises, or do they have to? Because I wonder if they can't dictate the amount of money that they give them. Or no, they can't do that.
Yeah.
Right now, you have it across the board.
Okay.
Like the departments are making the same, the deputies are making the same. So if it's across the board, it would be across the board.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
it's
say
fine, that's why I
It
asked.
worked,
And I
I mean,
do
it
like-
worked, it worked pretty
I-
well for 12 years until it got blown up because of inflation. And now it's, there isn't that big a discrepancy amongst these salary stuff.
I do think the person that's been here for 15 years shouldn't make the exact same dollar amount as somebody that she's going to hire on as a deputy. That to me, I think is
They don't.
insulting.
They don't.
The cost difference
Yes, they do.
between a first
Christy
and
makes
second.
the same, would make the same as my deputy. That's
Oh,
gonna
that.
start.
Yeah, I don't think,
yeah.
and Christy's been here for how many years? I don't think that's a fair shake where somebody who's been here 15 years makes the exact same as the person who's came here with zero knowledge and everything else. I mean, that to me is, I wouldn't do that with my own staff.
There's a lot of government, the sad thing is though, there's a lot of government ND run programs that are like that.
Yeah,
Not much you can
almost
do.
everything is
Yeah.
because you can't come up with a formula to decide how do you,
I know
okay,
someone
what's
who
that
was in the
worth?
school-
Oh, I told you guys I had that matrix scale that another county gave me.
Another
that-
county, Steph, this is Griggs County.
But you guys said,
This is-
unfortunately, there is no other way. But there
There is-
is a
no,
way
there is
because
not.
another county actually shared their matrix scale, how they figure out their salaries for their staff.
And who says they're right?
And who says we are right?
We
You know,
get,
but
we
it's
get to be
another-
the ones that say if we're right or not.
There's another opportunity. Well, maybe this is something to
Another
look
opportunity to spend money, let's get at it.
at. I mean, it breaks it down per year for experience and has a starting wage.
One thing though about with the matrix, or the 3.2 of that I do agree with is that it's a set. I mean, it keep, if we were to give each department the ability, it could run out of control really quick.
Gone. And the other thing is, it's the COLA, the citizens can agree with it. It's what you're getting on Social Security, that's gonna be your increase, and that you're gonna pay taxes on your house. It gives it some uniformity to the whole thing. It gives it that everybody's in this together.
You know?
And
I agree with the 3.2% as long as we can give Christy a higher than 3.2% because she's the only deputy that's been here the longest than the rest of them. The rest of them are so new, and you know that I think it's worthwhile to give Christy a higher bump just because she has been here for 15 years, and then it puts her above the starting wage.
But does that run into conflict? You picked one person out of the pot to give them a raise.
Absolutely.
It's not
I don't
that I don't
think
feel.
so, because-
it's not that I don't feel she doesn't deserve it. It's not that, or some of these people that have been, like, look at Wayne. He's been here for what, 30, 40 years? And
But
I'm not
his-
saying he doesn't do a great job.
his
when you
department-
start picking and choosing people,
That's right.
It causes a lot of commotion. That's what I'm worried about.
But we're
Wayne's been
picking
here
and
so long he
choosing
can't
Wayne's
remember how long he's
department,
been
though. So, but here's my point: we are already picking Wayne's department,
So, I
saying
mean,
it should
it's
go
not-
up.
Like I said, it's
the
not
extra
that you
dollar
don't do a
amount.
good job. It's
Why
just-
can't we pick
That's what I'm worried
the
about. You pick one person.
the
hey, that
recorder's
person
office
did a
and
good
have
job.
her deputy
You do
go
more.
up
Well, that's
just to make up?
because then why didn't
That's what I'm.
the auditor's office go up, and why
I
didn't
have that
Like we
the
said,
county agent's office go up, and then why didn't
next month.
this office go up? And pretty soon, it's bing, 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 and you don't know what's going
but
on.
we did say why. I did say why I would like hers to increase because she's been here for 15. How many years? Has she been here? She's been here for over 10 years.
But she gets to say, she's getting an increase.
Right, but it's just the same dollar amount as somebody who's starting new.
That's what I'm.
That to me is not a reward for thank you for being here for 12 years of your dedication.
But
I guess
but
where I
no,
work, you know,
if
boss
we gave
goes,
her a raise, let's
he
just
gives
say,
this,
you know, a
he would-
$2 an
he
hour
would
raise,
give her a
whatever.
raise where he doesn't
When she
do the
left,
spot, I can't-
would the
not
person
give
that
him
took her
anything.
spot
Well,
still
the guy
start
will
at
go
that
and say,
position?
well,
No,
why
you
didn't
shouldn't.
give me
They
a
should
raise?
start at
Well, they
the lower
shouldn't. I agree
wage.
with
You don't
I
know.
agree, but I mean,
You
I'm
should
just-
start at the new
But it's also
low
harder to
wage
do.
that is set
So,
for that
but with that
department.
being said, that, so then she has gotten a raise with her time put in.
Yes,
But
she's
the
gotten.
new person coming is going to come with no experience, no time in,
It-
and
but
make the
that's-
same dollar amount.
But that's what I was asking, when you, if we give her a good raise, you know, whatever, that person that takes her position.
Would get a lower raise.
No.
And the departments have the ability to pick and choose what they pay their employee as long as it's under that budget. So if let's say she left, let's say she had $30,000 in her budget, and Christy left, and and she hired somebody else, she could hire somebody at a lower wage. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be at that exact same wage.
And then
That
that's
is
the
that
point. Christie
opportunity.
has gotten the raises all along here. What you're talking about is if a hypothetical, if someone else comes, they're gonna start at the same wage as Christie.
Why?
Well, that's what you're talking about. So
I said no, they would not.
Okay, so let's do that, but that doesn't entail giving Christie another raise over and above the raises she's got. That just entails starting someone else newer at a lower wage.
I think Christie
Which
should
is
be above what the current new hires would be for the deputies. I think she should be above that.
Then we have to raise everybody's, and we're gonna raise
No,
it
you-
3.2%.
No, you don't have to raise. You could, raise her 3.2% and give her a little bit more because she's been for 15 years. If we
don't-
can do that to Wayne's department, why can't we do that to the other departments?
So who's next? How do you determine?
I'm not asking everybody else. I'm just asking for that one.
Let's
Okay, I
first
got
of
a
all,
question.
we'll single that one out there. Can we agree then to do 3.2% on the salaries and see how that looks?
Yes, let's do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I make an argument? May
Let's make a step here forward.
Yeah.
The next time.
I would love to hear your argument.
Okay, this is our next step. Okay, second.
Hi. Just as a thought, when you do the 3.2% cost of living increase from Social Security, that's the Social Security cost of living increase. That's what people with Social Security insurance get. That's not putting into perspective the increase in the health insurance. So when we do get that cost of living increase for the Social Security increase, and then you don't take in consideration the increase in the health insurance, that's why it would, like, if we're going to continue with the cost of living or the Social Security cost of living increase, could you possibly think about taking over a little bit of the family insurance policy so that it does take into account those?
Sam, the 3.2% is what they get for their Social Security, but it's based on inflation. It is based on the cost of goods going up.
But it doesn't take into account the health insurance. In the cost in inflation, they don't take into account health
I know,
insurance.
and
I get it. So all I'm saying is they don't take that into account. So I'm just asking, could you guys take into account
we
that?
do. The single health insurance policy goes up, we pay a full single health insurance policy. So as it goes up, we pay that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are taking that into account. It increases with inflation.
It just doesn't increase on the family, so I get what
Right.
you're saying, Sam.
Yeah, just a little tidbit is all I was.
Because you're
No.
saying it's increasing on single, which means it's increasing on the family, but the family ain't covered, so it's costing you more money. And even though you got that 3.2 to cost of inflation, you're not gaining anything out of it because of the simple fact that your family plan went up and it's
Right.
costing you more money.
Right, you lose money every year because the insurance coverage that you end up paying in is more than whatever.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's just not health
Just
insurance.
a thought.
No.
So where we're at, let's just get some things nailed down here so we can get, so we've taken, we've froze the IT budget at 104, and that's gonna save us $92,000. Steph, you took the $80,000 out of the, was it 88?
88,451.
88,451. And so now that's gonna take us down to 313?
557. Yep.
313, 557. Now let's go through and adjust the salaries to a 3.2% increase and see what that drops that 313 number down to. And see then if that number is acceptable for an overall budget increase.
I accept, yep.
And we'll have to, that'll be the next meeting. And then we need to look at we've got I think the software, if we go with the cheaper version, we can take it out of the funds we have in place. I'd like to then talk about Wayne's budget. Wayne's budget so that increase won't be on Wayne's budget. His increase was within his budget, his department already. Correct, Wayne?
We'll take the 3%.
No, but you already
We already got it.
it'd be doubled up, right? Yep.
You've already figured out all the stuff you need into yours.
Yeah, Wayne made cuts to other line items in his budget, gravel and things like that, and applied it as, if you guys are okay with that.
That's,
Yep.
As long as he's okay with it. he's the one-
He made cuts to other parts of his budget and applied it to the salary. Wayne does have a graduated scale in place, and I assume he's upgrading that as we speak. So you don't have to do that right now, Sam. We'll be in a pretty good position next meeting if we're there. Steph might even get her wish, and it might be $200,000. Then you're gonna be mad because you said too low.
Right. Let's say 313. Let's go. Budget looks great. Let's be done with it.
Remember, we'll go. So I think that sounds reasonable.
Yep.
We're in a lot better shape than we were last year. We don't have a lot of talking points here. We'll go over Wayne's budget so everybody realize what's going on there. It's at the 697 is basically the mill levy, the 30 mills. There's money in that budget to do some of the road improvements. The graders are in there. Yeah.
leases are up on
Hmm?
those. Is that the late lease on that?
Yeah, we got to talk about some of that, but we can't do much with Wayne's budget because it's a 30 mills anyway, so and it doesn't interact.
Okay.
We've never interacted that with these other budgets, so what
Do
we
you
get
want
done
me to
here.
get it to the 30 mils?
What's that?
Do you want me to get it to the 30 mils?
What does 30 mills come to?
Well, it depends on what taxable value you'd like me to use. Right now,
That's
I'm
right.
using the taxable value of currently what a mill
That was
is
the
worth.
697. That's what I was using. I was using the
So,
679, 976.89.
he could get 756, 121.95.
Put the 679 in there for now. And we'll probably add something to one of the other line items.
Well, okay, so he's got such a huge carryover. So if I put like a $2.5 million reserve in there, that gets me to the max because then that one cuts me off. So then it's 756, 121.95 for the max of the 30 mils.
Well, for this purpose, put the 679 in there because of the carry. So that we can stay within this $400,000 or the $313,000 overrun. So make the number of mills equal 679.
679, got it.
Yeah, for now.
Okay, 6.
And then in the other road department budget, that one just stays where it's at.
Yeah.
We might transfer some money, a little bit of this money out of this road department into the other one. Okay?
And we got an email saying that, I think the prairie dog bucket's gonna be filled up in the first quarter.
You're right, but they don't distribute it until later.
25.
Could
Yeah.
you, like that prairie dog, couldn't you use that for gravel roads and stuff like that too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think we might have to designate where we're gonna use what we have, and that would be on Congo Road. Try to
And
get that going.
see, the part of that huge reserve that we have in the road department is because all that prairie dog money is in there. And it's 2 years worth of money.
The Prairie Dog's got its own line item in the
It does,
balance
800
sheets.
and some thousand
Yeah, and
dollars,
it's-
but it's 2 years, it's biannually.
Yeah, and it's
Biennium.
I think
So
it's 3.5 million in your reserve, and then 800 and some in your
So
Prairie Dog.
I think we'll take half of that money of the prairie dog funds and move it into that other account so that it can go forward into future years without being subject to the budget limitations. I think is how we'll do that. It becomes used because it is supposed to be used for road projects basically. And the other account is matching funds on road projects, bridges, the thing we're gonna do up there in Binford hopefully, or between Binford and McHenry. And the bucket is full for 25, so that money isn't gonna be used we'll have money for 26 from this full bucket in 25. Cause the money in 25 won't get into the 25 budget,
Right.
it'll go 26 and 27.
And the legacy fund is, or legacy fund earnings is what we got, at 98,000.
Yeah,
That's gonna be coming in 25 also.
right, and so that won't affect the 25 budget. That won't affect the 25 budget, that'll go into the C, one of the C accounts, so that it just becomes a balance and can be moved forward without, if it's not spent, it just moves forward.
Keep up the good work on the.
Anything else?
I get a lot of, I know 26.
Make a motion to
Top one, that's 26.
Adjourn.
adjourn the meeting.
Motion by, Zorn to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Edlin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Next meeting, Monday, 22nd of July in this room at 9:30. Thank you all.
Special meeting.
Special meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. I'll be gone.